This is a forgotten Grimm fairy tale the world chose to forget, told as it was once whispered rather than read aloud. Its lessons were never gentle, and its mercy was thin. What follows is the old story, unsoftened, remembered in modern English. A man lived with his wife and 3 sons. The 2 eldest were clever, sharp-tongued, and certain of their worth. The youngest was slow of thought and speech, and everyone called him simpleton, not with affection, but with tired contempt. One day the eldest son went into the forest to cut wood. Before he began, an old gray man appeared and asked him for something to eat and drink. The son laughed, refused, and turned away. Soon after, he struck his axe poorly, cut himself badly, and returned home in pain. The second son went the next day, met the same old man, and answered with the same coldness. He too was injured, and came back humiliated and bleeding. By the third day, only Simpleton remained. Simpleton entered the forest with a small loaf and a bottle of beer. When the old man asked, he gave freely and sat with him in silence. The old man thanked him and told him to cut down a certain tree. When Simpleton struck the tree, it split at once. Inside sat a goose with feathers of pure gold. The old man vanished without another word. Simpleton carried the goose to an inn to rest for the night. The innkeeper's daughter saw it and longed to steal one feather. When she touched it, her fingers stuck fast. She could not pull away. Her mother came, grasped her arm, and was trapped as well. The father followed, then a farmhand, then a maid. One by one, they formed a silent chain, unable to separate themselves. Simpleton woke to find them trailing behind him as he walked. He did not try to free them, nor did he mock them. He simply continued on his way, as if this were the natural order of things. They passed through villages and fields. People laughed, pointed, and ran alongside. The strange procession grew longer, heavier, and more absurd. At last, they reached a city where a king ruled. His daughter had never laughed. The king had promised her hand to anyone who could make her laugh, but many had failed, and some had lost more than pride. When the princess saw Simpleton and the chain of people clinging to the golden goose, she laughed. Not politely, but helplessly, until she bent double and wept with breathless mirth. Simpleton claimed his reward. The king hesitated. He disliked the thought of such a son-in-law, and so he set a condition. The suitor must first bring a man who could drink an entire cellar of wine. Simpleton set out again. Soon he met a man sitting by the roadside, pale and hollow-eyed. He said he could drink rivers, but had found no place to quench his thirst. Simpleton brought him to the king's cellar. The man drank until every barrel was empty. The king frowned and set a second task. Simpleton must find a man who could eat a mountain of bread. Simpleton went on and met a man tightening his belt. He said he had eaten fields and forests, but was still hungry. At the palace, the man ate the mountain down to crumbs. Still unwilling, the king demanded a third task. Simpleton must bring a ship that could travel on land and water alike. Simpleton walked until he met a man building such a vessel. It was ready, and they sailed it over roads and rivers, straight to the palace gates. The king could not refuse any longer. Simpleton married the princess, though the king gave them little and hoped they would fade into obscurity. But in time, the king died. Simpleton inherited the kingdom and ruled without cleverness, without cruelty, and without apology. And so the story ends, as it always did, quietly and without regret.